Welcome to the Empower Her podcast. I'm Deanna, an ex-corporate manager turned certified coach, empowering you to create the life of your dreams. My goal is to guide you and support you in understanding what you really want in life, what steps to take to get there, and learn to actually enjoy the ride. Whether you are climbing the corporate ladder, a stay-at-home parent, or an entrepreneur, I coach you on how to believe you are worthy of a balanced, happy, and energetically positive life in work and at home. My goal in this podcast is to help you recognize patterns, implement change, and use your energy for positivity within yourself and your own life. I believe you don't have to suffer in this lifetime. You can create a life on your terms based on what you want, regardless of what that looks like. It is about reframing your beliefs, letting go of negative thoughts, and looking at your life as a set of opportunities there for you. I'm so excited to get started. Hello, and welcome back to the Empower Her podcast. Hi, everyone. I hope you're having an amazing month so far. We are in the middle of September. I can't believe that we're almost at officially fall. It's crazy. The weather has changed here. It's still kind of warm during the day, but the nights we've been able to open the windows, which is like crazy. I don't have to have the air conditioning on 24/7. I have to cover up when we have the window open at night. I am absolutely loving it. And this is coming from a summer girl through and through. But the 90, 100 degree weather was just killing me, literally. So that's been really great. What hasn't been super great is I hurt my back, and that wasn't really the best. I have a bulging disc, but we're working on it. I'm doing my exercises, trying to focus on my health, but it's actually been a blessing in some way. I always try to look at the positive. I've just spent all week just honed in at home, hyper focused, because I have a new program that I'm launching this week. It's called Energy Blueprint. It's the ultimate guide to neurodivergent and high achievers. I'm going to link it in the show notes, but it is a 4-week program where I'm going to show you how you can completely transform your life. Everything from energy management, time management, routines, mindset, nervous system regulation. It's not going to be overwhelming. You're going to get a step-by-step guide the whole way. The entire program is built so that you can habit stack it while doing other things, so you can listen while doing other things. The workbooks are neurodivergent friendly. They're super interactive. They're really going to help you and give you a step-by-step. And if you sign up in the first week, you will get a bonus, which is a one-to-one call with me. The program is $99 this week, but if you sign up next week, the price is going to be raised. So just keep that in mind. This week, it's only $99 plus the bonus of a one-to-one call, which, is worth way more than that. So it's really, really amazing. But I just really believe in this program. I've been working on it for a really long time, collecting data from all my clients, understanding what works, what doesn't. I've created really cool workbooks. All the things you're going to listen to, the episodes are going to be so amazing and give you such specific tips. So I am so excited. So I'll link it in the show notes. But of course, if you have any questions about it, just let me know. I am literally so excited for this new program. And y'all know I don't really do programs. Like, I've done a few. I haven't, been in love with everything, but this is like my baby, and I'm so excited. So getting into today's episode, I want to talk about money, which is often such a taboo topic, but it's something I talk a lot about with my clients because a lot of times they're coming to me with a scarcity mindset, a bad money mindset, and, a lot of us have a negative money mindset, right? Because our money mindset comes from who we grew up with and who we were around and the conversations that we had. And I've had so many conversations with clients recently about this and just feeling this energy. And I really just wanted to make an episode about it. And I am someone who used to have like a really bad scarcity mindset when it came to money. I wouldn't spend money because I was scared I wouldn't be able to get it back. When I started my business, oh man, I had such scarcity mindset. I didn't want to spend money on anything. I also was worried that no one was going to pay me because my services weren't worth it. I was in credit card debt, which wasn't a big deal. There wasn't a lot of it, but it caused me such bad anxiety on a daily basis. It was stressing me out. And so today I want to talk about how I overcame this, what I teach my clients, and all my tips and tricks on kind of what works and what doesn't when it comes to this. Because at the end of the day, I work with a lot of career coaching clients, so they want to get a new job. You're not going to get a better job or a higher paying job or a job that you're worthy of if you don't have a good money mindset, because you're going to feel like an imposter when you get such a high salary offered to you, or you're not going to think you're worthy of a high enough salary or a good enough job. So this money mindset and this scarcity mindset just really trickles down into everything in your life. And it's really, really important to talk about it and implement tools to overcome it, because until you do that, it's going to be hard to be as successful as you want to be in all areas of your life. So let's talk about how to actually have a more abundant mindset around money. And I'm going to give you some examples. I have 6 tips, 6 things that I absolutely, absolutely love. So the first thing is a mindset shift and understanding that money should be viewed as neutral. Money is not good or bad. And this is where a lot of people get caught up because, they'll see billionaires and they'll say, oh, all billionaires are bad. Or they'll see people who are struggling and they're like, oh, they're good people, they just don't have a lot of money. Or people actually have this feeling that like, oh, I don't make a lot of money, I'm struggling. Well, that makes me a good person, right? And that doesn't actually matter. You can be a good person or a bad person regardless of how much money you have. And they often attach this of like good or bad to the money as well. So they'll view money therefore as good or bad. So a billionaire who's bad, that means having all that money is bad, right? But that's not really the case. Money should be viewed as neutral. So understand first where your money mindset originates from. That's really, really crucial. And do you want the lives of the people around you who have a scarcity mindset? Think of those people around you who have scarcity mindsets, right? That you're hearing those things when people say, oh, we can't afford that, or I'm not rich like them, or those rich people, or this is too much, or I don't want to spend an extra dollar, on the syrup in my latte, like whatever it is, like that's all scarcity mindset. Like think of those people who are really scarce around you. Do you want to have the lives that they have, right? And when you see people with money, how do you feel about them? These are a few good journal prompts that you could do to get yourself thinking. But ultimately, the goal is for you to view money as neutral. Money is not good or bad. It is just energy. It is energy that you use to exchange. Just like, acts of service, saying something kind to someone, you're giving someone something. You're giving someone time. You're giving someone energy. You're giving someone thought. You're giving someone money. It's really all the same thing, right? It's all energy that we're exchanging and circulating. And once you start to view money as neutral, you're not going to have such an emotional attachment to it, good or bad as well. Because we also don't want, to have that really good attachment, because it can turn into negative if it's like an obsessive attachment. So the second thing, and my second tip, is understanding, again, this is a mindset shift, that there is enough money for everyone. There is enough money. Anyone who tells you that there's a finite amount of money, they don't know what they're talking about. There's a really, really great book that I think I've recommended on the podcast before, but it's perfect to talk about here. It's called We Should All Be Millionaires by Rachel Rodgers. I'm going to link it in the show notes. And she's a Black woman, and she talks about how it's important and vital for women and women of color to have money. And the reason is because when we have more money, we actually help the world be a better place than when we don't. So this is showing that having money isn't bad. It isn't negative. It's actually going to be positive. And, there's often this rhetoric around, oh, well, other people have less than me. I should be grateful for what I have, or I'm over consuming, or whatever it is. But okay, that's fine. But if you have less money, that's not going to help other people have more money. That's not how it works, right? There's enough money for everybody. So if you have more money, other people will also have more money. And that's the mindset shift, because if you have more money, think about it. You can donate more money to charities. You can hire people to work for you. You can spend more money in the economy, which is beneficial to everybody. So the more money you have, the more money actually other people are going to have. And especially with communities of women, and this is what's talked about in this book, is like women are really great with building community and supporting each other when it's the right environment. And so if a woman with money is supporting another woman, she will help her and bring her up, and then she'll bring up the next person. And it's this building this community and bringing each other up to a point where we all have money, and then we're all helping the economy. We're all donating to charities. We're all hiring people to work for us, right? And that's why we're helping everyone. So again, understanding that there is enough money for everybody, and that the more you have, the actual better it is for everyone around you. The third tip is shifting the conversation around money, specifically language shifting. So I want to talk about a few different ways that you can change the way you talk about money. Some of these examples are not my own. They came from Catherine Zankina of Manifestation Babe. I absolutely love the way she says these. And then some of these are kind of my own, but they're mixed together. But I just wanted to give her credit because I did get some of these from her. So it's about talking about money differently, because it's going to change. This is the subconscious reprogramming in your brain. If you language shift, if you change the way you talk about money, then you are actually going to reprogram your brain, and you're going to start thinking differently. So for example, instead of saying I'm spending money, you can say I'm circulating money. Instead of saying a budget, although I don't really find budget to be super negative, but if you do, you can say financial plan or your financial goals. Something else I like to say is, like, whenever I'm paying a bill, is thank you, universe, for me being able to pay this bill. I always do that when I'm paying a bill, and it's really helpful. Instead of saying something's expensive, say it's luxury or premium, or if you feel like it's overvalued, say it's overvalued. One that I love that I always say and tell people is, instead of saying I can't afford it, say this doesn't align with my current financial goals. Right? And again, we're not lying to ourselves. We're just reframing the way we're talking about it. Instead of saying debt, you can say financial investment. So for me, example, when I had credit card debt, I really tried to look at it like, okay, why did I have credit card debt? It was because I was doing things for my business. It wasn't because I was shopping and buying, Chanel and Zara and whatever. Like, I was only spending on things for my business. So I was like, okay, well, lots of, high end and really successful business people take out loans, right? So I'm like, okay, well, this is like a loan from my business. It's a financial investment. I'm investing in my business. And the more I started thinking about that, the less negative energy I had towards debt. Instead of saying savings, you can say opportunities fund, because it's an opportunity for you to use that later on. So these are just some ways that you can start talking differently about money. Again, the goal here is to change the language so that you can start reprogramming your brain and the way that your brain talks about money. Number 4, and something that is so important, and this is usually what I start out with clients, is you have to regulate your nervous system if you feel unsafe around money. And if you have a scarcity mindset, then you feel unsafe around money. So nervous system regulation is absolutely non-negotiable. And you can do specific meditations, visualizations, even hypnosis around this. And I would recommend that anyways on a daily basis. It's just really good for regulating your nervous system, and you can do specific money versions of them. But what I think is super important is you do these exercises when you feel triggered. So for example, I used to be really triggered by looking at my credit card statement, and every month, I had to look at my statement, pay my, statement, whatever. So what I started doing is I would do a breath work before I looked at my statement. I would sit down in front of my computer. I would do a quick breath work. Then I would look at my statement, do what I needed, and then afterwards I would do another breath work. And what this said to my body is you're safe, everything is okay, I got you, this credit card statement isn't a threat to your safety, it's all good. And it signaled to my brain that it's safe and it's okay. And now I've gotten to the point where my nervous system is regulated because I've trained it, and I don't feel that sense of panic or discomfort when I'm looking at my credit card statement. So I highly recommend this, whether it's if you're paying a statement, paying your bills, whether it's, in the grocery store spending money, just do like a quick couple breaths in before you pay and then after, like any time where you're feeling, negative about money. Maybe it's that you see someone online with like, designer bags that you want, or that makes you uncomfortable when you see people's lifestyle. You're feeling scarcity, like, oh, that's never going to be you. Or maybe when you're looking on LinkedIn at jobs and you see a salary that's super high, that's being triggered and feeling scarce in that moment. Do a nervous system regulation exercise, and that's going to signal to your brain that you're safe and it's okay. Number 5 is surround yourself with like-minded people. So I have so many clients come to me and tell me that they have friends or family members that just bring them down. They start to talk about being more abundant. They're implementing my teachings and my coachings, and they're telling me that they're trying to, talk about this to their family and friends, and they just shut them down, right? So you really have to set boundaries with these people, right? Like if there are people in your life that you love, like friends and family, but you can't talk to them about these things because they're, they have a super scarce mindset, then don't talk to them about it. Set boundaries. You don't have to talk about every topic of your life with every single person in your life. I know that's a misconception, and this is always what I say to people, but people in your life, each person is there for a different reason. I talk to certain family members about certain topics and other family members about other topics. There are some topics that I just don't at all talk about with certain people because I just know that they're not on the same level in terms of, the abundance, or maybe they just don't have experience in that thing. And I just know that I wouldn't want to take their advice and they wouldn't be able to stop themselves from trying to give me their 2 cents. So I just refrain from talking about those topics, right? And instead try to bring more people into your life that are going to be like-minded. So whether that's connecting with people on LinkedIn or through your workplace or through organizations, or if you have a friend that's super abundant, then try to hang out with their friends like that feel the same way. Try to find like-minded people. When you do that, you're going to really lift each other up, and you're just going to feel so much more positive, and the scarcity mindset is going to start to go away even faster. And the abundance is just going to start to become even more prevalent. And number 6 is embody the version of you who already has everything they want. And I've talked about this before. So if you're someone that wants to have a positive abundance mindset when it comes to money, someone that wants to have a lot of money or have that high paying job, like whatever your goals are, you have to think about what that version of you wants. And you need to start acting and feeling like that version of you. So let's say, just in this example, that you are making $100,000 and you want a job where you can make a $200,000 and you want to be a high level director role, right? Great. So how can you start embodying that version of you? And no, this is not about spending money you don't have, right? Because a lot of people will go to that, well, if I had $200,000, I would spend money on this and this. No. Ultimately, you only want more money because you want the feeling that the money gives you. So think about it. What feeling would more money and abundance bring you? Is it happiness? Is it joy? Is it security? Think of what those things are and then understand how you can start to feel those things now. How can you start to feel happiness now, joy now, security now? How can you start to feel those feelings now? And that's what you want to embody. Not spending like the version of you that has more money, but acting like the version of you that has more money. And there's a big difference between those two things. So these are my 6 tips, really just on starting to work on your money mindset, to feel more abundance, to really let go of that lack mindset and that reprogramming, and just really understanding that money is neutral. It's not a bad thing, and that everyone deserves to make lots of money and be super, super abundant. And just as a reminder, don't forget to go to the link in the show notes if you're interested in Energy Blueprint. It's an amazing program. We're just doing the bonuses this week, so make sure if you want that 45-minute one-to-one call with me, which is going to be super helpful, then grab your spot. And of course, you can always let me know on Instagram if you have any questions. My DMs are always open. I hope y'all have an amazing, amazing week. Sending you so much love, light, and energy. And I'll catch you in the next episode. And if you love this episode, don't forget to follow the podcast and leave a review. And of course, you can follow me at Coach Deanna DeBolt on TikTok and Instagram. I'll catch you next time.